We still have lectures, but we lecture in a much nicer place with all the bells and whistles in terms of the technology, and we're able to do much more. And the lecture capture system is better, and so the students are they're able to review those lectures much more easily. And so everything is better, but obviously the lab space, in addition to the lecture space, is just so much better than it was. And that's true of all the spaces through the building. The ones to talk to would be the students who last year were second years, who started off at the Biomed Center and then came here. They are the only group of students that saw the difference, and they were the ones that came up to the lab and were so jealous and told the first years how great they had it. And it gives them a place where it's safe, it's very secure, they can be here and be comfortable, that they can spread out and do whatever it is they need to do. There's a few great things about this new space. The fact that it's above ground is great, and then we have windows and some natural light. It's not as noisy. There's just so much more space, square footage per student. They all have countertop space and space to put their things, and they all have monitors and iPads, and so it's such a better teaching space than it had been. It was that very first day of lab last year when it was over, and the teaching staff, and we sat down and we were talking about it, and everyone said, God, it was just so much calmer. The students were calmer. They didn't seem rushed. They didn't seem as on edge as they had been before. So I think the space just works toward that. So the lab's been getting used for lots of things. This elective that's art and medicine, and there were sort of 4 different activities that were going on. There was a screenwriting workshop, there was a sculpting workshop with clay, and that happened in this lab. And we have student interest groups, family medicine interest group, that do a venipuncture workshop where they practice taking blood from each other. They do a splinting and casting workshop, the orthopedics people do, and they do that here. Plastic surgery residents have been here several times doing different workshops. It was an incredibly good investment on everyone's part that did invest in the building. That everyone who contributed to the building can be confident that their money was well spent. The thing I feel like has happened is that this space and the quality of the space and the size of the space and the resources has finally caught up with the quality of the people that are involved at all levels that are involved in medical education here. The greatest thing about the new building is finally having a place, an identity, a home for the medical school.